All right, everybody. We are going to be live here in a couple of minutes. Give it a few minutes here. I think Tyler is going to join us. He had some emergencies going on last night, so we'll give it a few more minutes. We got a lot of people here pretty early. We have almost 600 people registered. Perfect. Nice. All right. I had expected to have a couple more days to prep everything, but I was in Kuwait for work and I ended up there a few extra days as well. So I'm also still trying to adjust time zones. I hope everybody's excited. We have a fantastic lineup. I'm really excited at the workshops we have lined up and the presentations. I think this is going to be a fantastic 4 days. And I mean that like 100% authentic. We had to turn down people who had great presentations that they sent in. We had so many, such a good response to the call for presentations. Thanks, Ron. Glad to see you're here. Glad to see so many people are here early. One of the things I will point out this morning also is there's two chat channels. There's the event chat and there's the stage chat. Now we only have one stage this year, so there will be people chatting in both channels, just so you know. Um, and then there's also some documents. So some of our workshops might require you to get some documents from there. I know Mark has asked me to put some documents in there for his workshop that will be kicking us off with content today here at 10 a.m. Eastern. A couple people have asked as well, and the platform is adjusting the time zones for you. So you are seeing time zone listings for wherever your time zone is. Everything has been planned on Eastern time, but if you look at your schedule in Ring Central, those times are being adjusted for you for your time zone. I'm just going to give it another minute or two to see if Tyler is able to join us or not, and then we will get started very shortly. Trying to make sure the stream is working on my other computer. Looks like it froze. Good morning, everybody. We're just giving it one more minute to see if our chairman will be able to join us this morning. I know he had some things going on in the middle of the night. Hold on one second while we get the link to Tyler. Just bear with us. I knew we are going to have a few technical hurdles in the morning. Hey, Tom. All right, I am going to bring Tyler onto the screen. All right.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. So thanks, everybody, for coming. VetSecCon is our #1 event every year where we get to bring all of our members, all of our staff, all of our partners, sponsors, pretty much anybody associated with VetSec together. It allows us our #1 fundraising event of the year. As everybody here may or may not know, VetSec is a 501c3 charity. We incorporated several years ago, about 6 years ago, and we live off of donations. We're all unpaid volunteers here, myself, John, everybody, the board, all of our staff, and we survive because of generous donations from our partners. So especially we want to thank everybody, all the different companies that helped us be here today, including RingCentral, who hosts this platform for us. And basically just want to say thanks everybody for coming. Hope you learn a lot of stuff. Hope you get a lot of good networking done. And we hope to see you throughout the talks. If there's any problems, just reach out to one of the staff members in one of the channels, and we'll try to get it resolved. Please, be gracious with us because we are volunteers trying to do this on top of our regular day jobs. So, just please acknowledge that as well. Anyway, hope everybody has a good time, and I'm going to turn it over to John.
Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, we're just going to go through a couple of slides here. This kicks off day one of VetSecCon. We have a lot of great sponsors that we want to make sure that we thank. We have MetaCTF this year providing the CTF platform. Registration information has gone out. If you're not seeing that, please ask. We'll repost that into the chat here as soon as I'm done talking, and I hand it over to Mark. We can repost the link in there. You can participate in the CTF for up to 4 teams. We also want to
4 members per team. 4 members per team.
4 members per team. We also have a couple of other sponsors we want to thank who sponsored VetSecCon specifically this year. At the senior officer level, we had Falcon Ops. So again, we're very thankful for their donation. If you would check them out, you can click on their link in the sponsor section as well. We had a couple of sponsors at the enlisted level as well this year, including Clearbridge Technology Group, SysDig, and as an individual, Cody Frazier, U.S. Marine Corps veteran, sponsored the event as well. So a big thanks to all of our sponsors at this level. We specifically want to call out Google, who ended up giving us, we were awarded through a competitive bid process, basically, for nonprofits, a 6-figure grant that was given out during Fleet Week. We actually had Tom Marsland, the former chairman, and Alex, our current treasurer, go out, along with a couple of other members who were able to go there for Fleet Week to get this. So you'll want to stay tuned if you're a VetSec member about how some of this money is going to get redistributed. We may talk about that later on, maybe on the Saturday kickoff announcement a little bit. But we're really excited to be able to do even more programs for all of our VetSec members. If you're here also and you're not a VetSec member, that if you are a military veteran or active duty National Guard reservist from 14 allied countries, you can join VetSec. I have a slide on that in a minute. We can provide that. We also have some long-term VetSec sponsors as well, not specific for the event, but specific for our organization overall. So I'd like to thank Zscaler, Leidos, and Salesforce for sponsorship of VetSec. And then we have a couple of long-term sponsors as well who, participate in many different types of training programs. Some of you have probably gone through some of this, including SANS, Cybrary, Splunk, Fortinet, GitHub, and RSA Conference themselves. So again, we really couldn't have these benefits for all of our members without these long-term partnerships. We'd also like to thank CompTIA, Cisco, Level Effect, Coursera, TechVets, WeSys, and TCM Security for long-term partnerships with us as well. So all of these partnerships really benefit, the member benefits that we're able to pass on to you. This is the information for the CTF. So I might be able to. Oh, no, I can't copy that in right at the moment. I'll get that to you in a minute if you haven't seen yet that. It is on the landing page. When you go to the welcome page, you can click that link as well. The top team is competing for 0-point security training vouchers. So that is what the winners are competing for the CTF this year. So I don't know, Tyler, if you had any more details on the CTRO 1 or 2.
Yeah, so we're going to buy vouchers for the Red Team operations, either the standard level or the advanced course from 0-point security for the team which wins the CTF. And then MetaCTF is donating, I believe, 1 year of their lab subscription to the top scorers in the CTF. So that is, but both of these are pretty decent prizes for whoever wins or performs well.
Awesome. All right, and I see, Robert, thank you for putting that link in there if you haven't seen the link yet to get your team set up. Feel free to coordinate in the chats as well if you're still trying to find teams for that. I have the schedule. The schedule's posted. Again, it's automatically adjusted for your time zone. I also uploaded a document, a PDF. The PDF is in Eastern time because I'm in Eastern time. This is what we've got going on today. We've got Mark McKinney with a workshop. He's ready to go. He has a couple of documents for that workshop as well. So that'll be sort of focused on that veterans transition playbook. Then we've got Vincent Sullivan and Kyle Smith with just some talks. And then we are actually going to take a break for lunch so that you guys can go to the chow hall and get some food. And then we'll kick it off later with Jeff with some influence ops, which I'm pretty interested to see that talk. Then we've got Samuel Cameron for building local agents for security, Rye Wayland for detection engineering. Then I am doing a resume review clinic that starts at 7:30 p.m. where we will talk about hopefully also how to get a job and how to think through your resume. And I'm not going to talk through all the rest of this. You can see all the rest of these as well. Again, I think we have fantastic talks. I'm really excited for our keynotes. I've seen the slides for our Saturday keynote from my friend Mick Baccio, and I'm really excited that we were able to get him. This is how you join VetSec. So if you are here and you're not a member of VetSec and you qualify, if you are active duty, reserve, National Guard, retired, separated, service member from the U.S. and 14 ICE countries, you are able to join VetSec. And we do not, there's no fee. We don't charge a fee for our membership at all. So if you join, you can join the Slack instance. You go through a procedure when you apply. So if you are here, you cannot invite your friend directly into the Slack. You have to go through the application process. Our IAM team, composed of 7 awesome people, verify as much as you can, right, that you are a qualified member to join our organization. And we are founded on the principle that those are the people that can join VetSec. So this event is open to anybody. That's our model for our VetSecCon event itself. You don't have to be a member, and this is open to anybody. But to join VetSec and receive benefits, you do have to become a member. So again, if there's any questions about that, there's plenty of VetSec members that are going to be in chat that can answer questions. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And I think that's all the intro stuff I have, Tyler. I don't know if you had anything else you had to say this morning.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Then we may actually hand it off to Mark a little early if he gives me the thumbs up to do that. We might give him a couple extra minutes. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited. Again, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But with that, I'm going to get off the stage here. and figure out how to move my slides off the stage and remove me and or remove Tyler. Tyler, I'll see you later. All right, let me get Mark on here. All right, Mark, can you hear me? I'm not hearing you, Mark.
How about now?
Yep, I've got you now.
Okay, roger that. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good time. Let me share.
Before I remove myself off stage, Mark asked me to put a couple documents. So if you see that little documents tab, he's going to ask you to go through that a little bit. But with that, we'll go ahead and get started a little early, Mark. Thanks for hopping on a few minutes early.
My pleasure. Good morning, everybody. It's surely a pleasure to be here as a retired Medical Service Corps officer in the U.S. Army and IT geek. It's a pleasure to speak to all of you there. And you know, I thoroughly enjoy helping the military service community and provide them with tools and tricks of the trade and things that can help them. So this is just one of the things that I'm highly engaged in, and I'll just get right to the chase. Hey, when I decided to transition from the Army, one of the things I did was be purposeful with everything that I did. We know as military service members, we don't do anything that's just wasting time. We do things that is purposeful. So we have to ensure that we continue to do that, but do that with ourselves. All too often, we do not take care of ourselves. We're taking care of others, family members, loved ones, teammates, whatnot, people we serve with, but we don't take care of ourselves. So one of the things I wanted to do is stop that and get to the point where we consider taking care of ourselves. So if you will. Okay, great. Here's basically the agenda. If you look in the docs up there in the upper right hand corner by the chat, you'll see a little red dot there, and you click on there. Then what I did is I uploaded a couple of my 4 documents, and some of those are just job descriptions that I pulled from the internet that we can help transition or fix your resume and whatnot as we go through this. Real quick, I'm going to put a link in the chat that I recommend everybody go to and bookmark this because it is something that's very, very beneficial. It is a security certification roadmap, and you go on there and you put your mouse over a particular certification. It tells you how much the certification is, and it breaks it down from entry, intermediate to expert level. So it tells you all the basic areas of cybersecurity, and it gives you an essential roadmap for you to plan out your careers and work towards those certifications. So here's our agenda. Like I said, and for me, I'm a retired U.S. Army officer and combat veteran. I'm a Mustang officer. It means I enlisted after I went to undergraduate school, and then went on jump status at Fort Bragg. Then I made my way all the way up to a non-commissioned officer as E6, and then became a Mustang officer and got a commission in the Medical Service Corps. And I retired from the Army in 2014. One of the things I'm currently serving as the dean of the College of Computer and Information Technology at St. Petersburg College in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you will, some of you, if you could just put in the chat your name, your service branch, your transition status, and your cyber interests. That'll help me a lot. Should we decide to connect after the content, the conference or the presentation, so that because sharing is caring. It's one of those things that in IT we always have to look out for each other, because if we don't look out for each other, nobody else will. There's those individuals that are IT experts that are non-military affiliated, but then there's us. And so there is a difference. Make no mistake about it. There is a difference between us and them, but we're not going to go there. We're going to continue make them understand that that it's one team, one fight. All right, good. All right, okay, Navy. I see you, Tom. See you, Rob. Air Force. I'm Air Force. Okay, you're threat hunting. Okay, retiring E7. Okay, roger that. Now I'm an Air Force brat. I was raised in Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada. I know my dad's rolling over in his grave, knowing that I went to the Army, but they gave me the most amount of money for my education. All right, good. I see a little bit. I see you, Marine Corps. I see you, Devil Dog. Good stuff. All right, I see 2 Devil Dogs. All right, good to hear that. All right, so again, this is a little something about my journey. As I was in the Medical Service Corps, and I was shifting towards healthcare information systems and basically running hospitals. So I can run a hospital for every section without a doubt. But IT became my passion. As I did that, it was important that I started to come up with a plan for me to get out, because we all know at the moment's notice something can happen. Then you're like, okay, there's a frago, we have issues. I get hurt here, or I got to come. I'm on PCS and going from one duty station to another one. Things change, but we have to be purposeful about our careers. And as you do that, this can help you set the stage so you can get the right career that'll help you out big time once you transition. I love technology. Okay, I am in higher education because that is one area where a lot of us do not seem to go. And I am going to tell you flat out, if you are willing to go into education, you're willing to use your IT prowess in higher education, there are a lot of positions in higher education where you can hit the ground running, get additional training skills, experience, and stability that we are accustomed to once we're on active duty. So don't knock it until you try it. Get with me offline, and I'll provide my LinkedIn profile at the end of this little briefing. So in case anybody else wants to link up, I help institutions work towards a Purple Star, become a Purple Star. For the state of Florida, that's the designation that the state provides those institutions that have a comprehensive, robust program to support all elements of the military service community. That's like service members, active and reserve National Guard, their dependents, and their spouses. It's one of those things. And so once you have those comprehensive services, you can apply to get this institutional badge, if you will. And what it does, it highlights your institution to let members, us in this military service community, know that this particular institution is highly favorable to serve in our community. My current institution is one as well, and I helped one of my previous institutions obtain that moniker. I'm currently writing I'm preparing to write a cyber transition playbook for veterans. That's one of the books that I'm in the process of doing to provide individuals a little toolkit to help them as they transition from active duty, reserve, or National Guard into the full-time aspect of cybersecurity or information technology, if you will. All right, so the landscape. There are a plethora of roles out there. All of you, from what I can see in the chat, some of you are doing this while you're actually in the military. Some of you are out or reservists or retired, and some of you have some of these titles. But the landscape is just far-reaching. We all know about the impact of artificial intelligence, and I can tell you right now, if you haven't tried to jump into it, you need to get a hold of it, because everything is vastly changing in AI, as you know. And the more that we know about artificial intelligence, the better posture we're going to be as these transitions occur. I've always been asked, why do veterans excel in cybersecurity? Well, it's real simple, and I'm quite sure some of you are going to be putting thumbs up and nod your head, is that nobody bothers us. We can sit there, we can engage, do our jobs. We don't have to worry about all the nonsense that usually comes with interacting with individuals who are not squared away. That's one of the areas that's why it attracted me to it. I love it. I can sit in here, I can write code, I can do intrusion detection, I can do all kinds of things, interact with my teammates on a smaller scale instead of having to worry about a whole bunch of nonsense that's outside of my area. And particularly those individuals who don't understand the computer industry or the IT industry at all. It's discipline. You got to be focused. You got to know what we're doing. We all know that. We have a mission and a goal, and it's adaptable. We can adapt really one way. You come in and say, hey, I just want to build computers, so I'm working towards my A plus. And then you say, I'm kind of tired of that. Let me go ahead and switch to networking. And then you get to Network Plus or other certification or CCNA, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, man, this is getting kind of boring. Let me go and switch to some security. So you may get some of the other security certifications or Security Plus or Server Plus with CompTIA. And I'm just naming those. There's other ones out there. So it's adaptable and it's flexible for all of us. And it gives us that breadth of opportunity where a lot of industries do not. I can tell you, having been on both sides, it is to our advantage to remain highly engaged in cybersecurity because it sets us up for longevity, while everyone else is trying to move into areas and are afraid of certain other industries. Us not being afraid of it helps us out. Our security clearance, 99% of everybody on here has a clearance or had a clearance. My thing, I will admit I made one mistake. One mistake is that I didn't, when I got out in 2014 and I was going to school with my doctorate, I didn't maintain my clearance. And I was living just north of MacDill Air Force Base in Pasco County, Florida. I should have stayed active with my clearance. And so for you, anyone who has that clearance, my advice to you, maintain that clearance. Try to get you an employment where you can have that clearance because it's gold. These contractors or these employers out here are so leery to try to, they don't want to pay for that security clearance unless you have certain skill sets or high certifications where they have no choice and they really, really need you. Then they'll come up with the money, but most of them won't. I see you, Arnold. Yeah, SkillBridge is a good way to go. Make sure you stay locked in on that program. Activity Quick Pro. What are some of the roles that interest you, all of you, the most? Can you just put in the chat? And you're looking to be an auditor, CISO, a SOC analyst, pen tester. Can you put that in there? Edward, what you need to do is try to get with a company and utilize your cyber skills in order that require that you have a clearance. And then once you keep it active in JPAS, you'll still be able to maintain your clearance. It could be full-time or part-time, but try to get your job where it requires your clearance. Okay, SOC analyst, pen testing, red team, got it. GRC, cloud. Okay, roger that. Well, all the jobs that you guys are telling me and putting on there, that link that I put in there, the certifications that pertain to all the jobs that you're putting in here are right in there. Digital forensics. Yeah, I'm in a process of developing a digital forensics program at my college, a certificate and an actual bachelor's degree for that. So that's good stuff. All right. Well, all of you, you're going to make some serious coin, and you're going to have a lot of fun doing so. So you all have done that. So we're going to the next one. All right. So mapping your military skills. This is one of the big issues that everybody has. How do you get that civilian equivalent from the military equivalent? And yes, civilians don't get it. They don't understand. They actually downplay our skills because they think we don't do enough. Contrary to popular belief, we actually do more than they think. I've had to educate a lot of civilians and let them know that military personnel are multitaskers. We can do a multitude of things really, really will. But it's up to us to make sure that we transition our skills to their jargon. Okay. And here's a couple of words that are examples. Mission planning, that the equivalent is incident response and risk management. Chain of command communication, cyber governance, risk and compliance, GRC, technical troubleshooting, system admin and network defense, adaptability under pressure, incident response and crisis management. I'll admit I was guilty of this because I didn't know. No one took me under the wing and said, "Hey, this is what you need to do." So I will tell you, reach out to, make sure you can try to link up with some of these individuals that are on this conference. I'm going to put my LinkedIn page at the end of the presentation. Feel free to inbox me. We can chat. Sharing is caring, and it's all about making sure we have resources and we can help each other out. I can do that. I'll get with him and see if he can provide those slides. Yeah, so I uploaded them. I believe that John will have the slides. If not, I can make sure that I send it to him and get these slides to you. So yes, that's not an issue. All right, so here's another thing for translating your experiences for job descriptions. On the left is the military description, and on the right is how you would transition it. And so it's just a matter of making sure you put the correct buzzwords in there, because yes, they do have artificial intelligence out there that are looking for these key buzzwords. And if you don't have those key buzzwords in there, then it's going to kick your resume to the curb. Let's be honest. Same thing as applies up there on LinkedIn. You have to make sure you're going and you set up your skills accordingly and put those skills in there so that you can actually, the algorithm that AI is running can actually forward those jobs that you're qualified for. They can forward them to you, put them in a little inbox and say, "Hey, you look like you qualified this. Are you interested? Take a look at that." So that's a good thing. So make sure that when you're making you're translating your experiences, do it correctly, but also talk to someone who's actually in the industry that you know of, that has been in the military, and they can help you tailor your resume. And I have about 20 different resumes that I used when I was applying for jobs. Why? Because one was my beginning resume. Then I adapted, changed certain things, kept the copy, adapted again. I kept adapting and overcoming, and that's just one of the things. And I'm still doing that, even although I'm employed, but I'm upskilling, I'm leveling up. So I'm always adding to my resume, always adding my skills out there. Certifications. So all right. So a lot of you already know this, so I'm not going to beat the drum too hard. There's an entry level, intermediate, and advanced. These are just some of the entryways that are into the industry. There are a multitude of training opportunities for us because of our affiliation with the military. Do yourself a favor and take advantage of the free training that is out there. There's so much. It actually gets to the point where you actually have to make decisions about what you want to do or what you don't want to do, and prioritize those, because there's so much out there. With the little roadmap that can help you with the certification. But I'm going to put something in now that you can look up on LinkedIn, and that's Act Now Education. I got to tell you, if you're looking for training that's free, Act Now Education is a godsend. I mean, I think he's a chief. I think it's Chief Salters. He's in the Navy. I don't know if he's a chief or not, but I believe he's a chief petty officer. And he and his teammates came together and provided a platform called Act Now Education, and I'm here to tell you they have all kinds of training from entry level to like A plus, all the way up to your PMP certifications and to your Scrum, your to Splunk, which I'm going through my Splunk. Thank you, Emily. Good looking out. Appreciate that. I'm training towards my Splunk certification. It's just something I wanted to do. Someone told me about this. I went on there, went through the training and everything else. I got access to free training. This and the prices are astronomical. And so I can tell you any way that you can get something free, for me, if it's free, it's me. And so take advantage of it. Okay, so those are just some of the advanced ones. But if as you plan your roadmap and get prepared for you to transition, come up with a plan. You have to have a plan. Ideally, if you're still serving right now and you have 2 or more years, at a minimum, in my opinion, I think you should start your exit strategy or considering it within 2 years and start planning your strategy to exit. If some of you have been injured in combat, have injuries and whatnot, I used to be a medical service corps officer. Again, I worked with the medical review board. I can get with you offline because I know the process, what they look for, so you can get your military disability rating. It's not a solicitation. I'm just telling you, giving you the experience that I provided to other soldiers that they were transitioning, going through the med board as well, and I met into the med board, and it all turned out favorably. So again, you can inbox me. We can talk offline about that and make sure we can support each other. Here's some additional training pathways and resources. Of course, you got the GI Bill, you got your vet tech programs, you got VRE, whatnot. We have VetSec. Take advantage of that. Another one is like I said, Act Now Education and Sharing is Caring. There's so much out there. Make sure again you take advantage of that. You will be amazed that a lot of institutions in your local area or online have programs that they can provide you free training. Yes, I'm gonna send. Well, I can't do it. I wish I could put it right up on here. I tried to drag and drop it, but it wouldn't take. Well, I'll try that right now. We'll see if it does work. No, it didn't. It didn't work. Sorry. Well, I'm gonna make sure we get them to you, but no worries. All right. Okay, so what I want you to do for those docs that were uploaded. So in the chat area, you should go, it says chat, Q&A, and then docs to the right. Click on the docs, and then you're going to see the one for this workshop, and there should be some handout. Should be the second one. It should be mission alignment activity handout, and the other one's a BUSSY Senior IT Security Analyst. That's the job description we're going to talk about, and the other two are job description that we're going to talk about. So what I want you to do first, try to write down, and we can do this as we're going through the presentation. Identify a target role. Come up with your primary course of action, your secondary course of action, and your tertiary course of action, your A, B, and your C. And believe me, you got to have those because it's not going to go the way it is. You know how it is. We always have contingencies in the military. Take that prudent planning and application that we use in the military and apply that to your career and your plan because it will benefit you. If you have multiple egresses and options, then it's nothing to you if something doesn't go the way you anticipated. It really, really works out. If I hadn't done that, I'd be in the hurt locker right now. But I did, and it worked out for me. Choose those 3 to 4 certs that allow you to move from entry level to advanced. Okay, your short term, midterm, and long term. And believe me, your long term goal, if you have that 18 months to 24 months, start that plan. If you don't have a mentor, get one. If you need mentorship and you don't have one, if you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to work with you. Reach out to me. I have no problem helping you out. But share that with a teammate or a peer, because that feedback is important. Military people, we tell it like it is. We tell you straight. And that's just what we need. You need some honest, straight up advice about if your plan looks good or bad. And if it's bad, just tell them straight up. It's bad, but here is some ways that we can work on improving your roadmap and your plan. If you are still enlisted, get your associate. Right. I agree wholeheartedly. Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate that. And share that your roadmap with your peer or your mentor and your mentor network. The goal is to have a personalized, actionable training plan that connects your military experience to your next cybersecurity mission. Believe me when I tell you, a plan is always good. If I always have a plan. Courses of action, I live by it, because whenever something goes wrong, I'm sitting back cool as a cucumber, because I'm playing chess and I'm not playing checkers. Our opponent, our adversaries, your competitors, people are trying to get those jobs. Oftentimes they're smug and they're playing checkers. We play chess, so we have to think and anticipate possible moves, and then posture yourself accordingly so that you will be successful as you make that transition. Okay, military language. This is one thing that I still do to this day, and it's going to be something that is really hard for us to break, is leaving the military language out of civilian talk or cyber talk. Now, if there's somebody that's been around military people or been in the military, yeah, you can utilize that jargon with them big time. And I do. I have several veterans that are in my department. I also work in my school that we can talk and communicate, and everybody else doesn't have a clue what we're talking about. But we have to fight the urge to try to use that military jargon until they actually get to the point where you actually get in the door and you have some teammates, whatnot. Here's just some small things that you should consider. I see what Richard's saying. Be careful, computer science, that's a generic pick something. I agree, it is. And I'll piggyback on what Richard said about that. When it comes to education, computer science is more of a science. It's more rigorous and more mathematical speaking. They're looking for you to do research and do things like that. Now, if you want to go into teaching and higher education and teaching and doing research and writing articles, then by all means, go with that computer science. But if you want to actually get engaged with that, you need to make sure you have a derivative that goes along with that computer science, or have multiple certifications that qualify you in different areas, so they don't try to box you into only a computer science focus. That's what they'll do when they see that, because they see computer science, they go, oh, that means cybersecurity. And no, it doesn't. It's totally different. They're apples and oranges. So make sure you don't box yourself in there if you go with that computer science. Make sure you have other things out there that will support your career development and growth. Your LinkedIn career. Here's some examples about your LinkedIn profile. You guys should be to put thumbs up. Does anybody have the free LinkedIn premium subscription? If not, can you just put a thumbs up if you do in the chat? Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, if you do not have that, it's real easy. Okay, I see one that says Greg Brothers, yours expired. You can renew it. I just renewed mine. So just the same way you did it before, do it again and just upload your stuff, and they'll renew it. Because I thought, oh, it was a one and done type of situation. Not true. If you just do a Google search and just put better free LinkedIn Premium for veterans, and they'll come up and then follow that and then go there. And if all else fails and you have difficulty uploading documentation to support that, that's okay. Make sure you contact them, send them an email, because it took about 2 weeks before they got back to me because I had some issues uploading my documentation. Person got back to me, gave me the information. Dang, within 15 minutes, I had premium again. So make sure you do that. They stop allowing renewals once you're out of service. Thomas, I would say try that again because I'm out and I just got mine renewed. So there's multiple ways, and also there's a piggyback through I think it's through MWR. There's a way because we have access to, there's access to military training through MWR and the online library. And if you go through there, you can also get LinkedIn Premium that way. So there's a multitude of options. But I got that information from the Act Now Education. Again, go do that search, attend those the little video session, which is an hour on Saturdays, and you put in there for the particular training that you want. Make sure you attend that, get access to that free training. And the beautiful thing about that is that you can go over and over again. And this LinkedIn profile is important. And let me tell you why. Having the key buzzwords, the keywords of setup is essential. The position I'm in right now, I was recruited off of LinkedIn. That's how they found me. I was at another institution and I had my profile set up to the point where I was targeting institutions dealing with cybersecurity or private organizations dealing with cybersecurity. They reached out to me and said, hey, looked at your profile, looked like you'd be a good fit for the job. I said, okay, let's see what you're talking about. He dropped the job description in my message. I looked at it and I said, hey, okay, cool. Yes, send it to me. Would you be interested? Absolutely. I would be. Long story short, I just had heart to heart with them. I told them that if they were looking for an individual who had a hard computer science master's degree or doctorate, I wasn't a guy. What I do have is leadership experience, multiple certifications, and about 12 plus years of cybersecurity information experience. If you're looking for that, I'm your guy. Long story short, here I am. So that LinkedIn profile is critical. There are recruiters that are out there doing searches with their little algorithm, looking for individuals who fit the bill. So if you set yourself up right, they will come to you. And believe me, you will get a lot of hits. So I see based on LinkedIn. Yep, that's right. So you're exactly right. Clifton is right. They're looking. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is tight. And it is nothing wrong with going to other individuals' LinkedIn's and checking out their profile. If I'm trying to my ultimate goal is to try to become a CIO. So what do? I go to other individuals' profiles to see what they have, to see what they've done, to see if their path aligns similarly with my path. If that's the case, then I'm writing certain things down and I'm organizing how I want to align my career in some of the similarly with some of the things that they've done. It helped them get there. So why not do the same things that would help me bridge that pathway and get to my ultimate goal? Okay, so real quick, we'll take this should be about a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. If you don't have your resume, pull it up real quick, and I need you to don't change anything, but just look at your resume and see if there is a line on your resume that uses military terminology, military jargon. That's the one thing that I would ask you to do. Once you find it, if you didn't find it, okay, great. Then you're ahead of people. If you have MOS jargon, codes, unit terms, acronyms, whatnot, do it. Mark through it. Do a change. I plot track changes on Microsoft Word. I put a line through it and change it to some civilian friendly language. Come up with a measurable result. One thing, okay, good. My pleasure, Patrick. The one thing that I will tell you is when you are interviewing, it is important that you provide examples of what you've done and how what you did contributed to benefiting the organization. Numbers improvement, percentage improvement, things of that nature, you need to be able to articulate it very, very well. When I interviewed, I would go in there and they would ask me certain questions. I'd make sure I understood the question. I gave them example because they wanted me to provide them example. So I set the stage. I told them where it was prior to my arrival, how it was while I was there, and the after effects after I implemented my changes. So they had the beginning, during, and after. And I told them flat out, prior it was -5%. Afterwards, it was 10% improvement. What did I improve? I improved A, B, C, D, E. If you provide that information, they will sit back and they go, wow, I didn't know that. It took me a while to get the understanding how interviewers want, okay, how they want from what they want from you, okay. If it is software development and programming, one of the things they're going to ask you to do is to write some code. They want to see if you actually know how to write Python. They may not have you go in there and write a massive amount of code, no, but you also have to basically have to know the structural aspects of writing that particular code. Same thing as an administrator. So make sure that you plan, prepare, and have those experiences about what you've done and how you got from point A to point B. Bottom line is this: when you do all this, these little tools for this activity, share it with your teammate, your peer, your mentor, your buddy, your battle buddy, and have them be honest with you. They'll tell you, and it may be your spouse, maybe your significant other. They'll just tell you straight out. If it sucks, okay, we have thick skin. It sucks. My wife is an English professor, has a PhD in English, and I'm writing books and I'm writing articles, whatnot. I put it over there. And I say, hey, baby, go to work. She said, I love you. And she proceeds to rip my stuff apart. But after she's done, I am better for it because I learned from her. I'm not afraid to take criticism. So we all have those individuals in our life that tells that information to us that's unvarnished and straight up. Give it those individuals and have them provide that constructive criticism. Ideally, you want to have your before and after. If it said served as NCO overseeing network operations, afterwards supervised enterprise level network ops, ensuring secure data flow and system reliability across multiple units. That's a mouthful, but it's true. It's just the transition. And bottom line is, you need to be able to showcase your leadership, your technical skills, your mission impact in a way that resonates with individuals in that cybersecurity environment and those cybersecurity recruiters. And we have a skill set that people that are not in the military do not have. They have no concept or idea of what pressure is or what stress is. For them, they're flipping out. We're sitting back, you're like, dude, this is nothing. When you're sitting back and you're in a talk or you're on a fob and there's mortars coming in there, or you're trying to treat somebody and save their lives, our backyard is chaos. That's what we're used to. Civilians are not. So make sure you highlight your ability to perform under pressure. Believe me, most civilians, not all, but most civilians cannot. They fall apart when you're steady, cool, calm, and collected. All right. Love the sharing that's going on in the chat. There's some good tools. And like you said, make sure you link up. grow your network. Sharing is caring. The more people you know, the better opportunities you have that come your way. All right, networking and cultural shift. All right, it is important to have a professional network. As a military person, we're used to being proficient in our MOS or AOC, our skill set. And so long as we're proficient, we're technically and tactically sound, we're good. Can't do that now. Okay. Just like in the military, cybersecurity, you don't fight alone. Your network is your force multiplier. Everybody on here are your teammates. They can help you out. If you have a similar situation or you've dealt with a particular signature from a piece of malware and it's stumping you, you can reach out to your network, after you sandbox it and can share it, help other individuals can help you find out exactly what that signature is and help you deal with that malware. Okay, and that's just an example. These are a few areas that help you out. The one we're on now, VetSec. Don't let this resource hinder you. Let it be a force multiplier. LinkedIn, use that. Okay, your local security groups, ISA, ISSA, ISACA, ISC Square. It's those local things. They also like SIM, the SIM community, Society of Information Management. They have these local chapters all over the nation, and some of them internationally. Link up with them, participate with them, get to know certain people. 9 times out of 10, they have mixers and get-togethers. Build your network, build your networking opportunities and your culture. You will be amazed at how some individuals say, hey, I know a person that can do that. What are you looking for? And I'm getting individuals coming to me saying, hey, a friend of a friend of a friend said you were looking for adjunct professors who live in Florida. I go, yeah. Here's my business card. I give them to them. Can you inbox me your resume? They go, yes. I look at the resume. Heck yeah, you're qualified. You meet all the accreditation aspects of it. What do you want to teach? Long story short, they're teaching part-time on my staff in my department. That's how things happen. Or with getting funds for training or professional development, so on. That network is important. And contrary to what people say, you can have all this other information, non-skills and abilities, but if you don't know the right people and get you in the door, you still need to know those people. And the more people you know, the better it is for you. Now, we all know that there are jerks out there. Okay, there are people that are jerks. So make sure that even if you know certain people that are uncooperative or none too friendly, make sure that you manage that or navigate that accordingly. All individuals are not friendly. Okay, some individuals just like to do their due and be done with it. Okay, that's cool, no worries. But make sure you're able to navigate the good, the bad, and the ugly. As people in the military, there's always somebody that we deal with or we serve with that we didn't particularly get along with, and the old adage says, "Hey, you ain't got to like him. You just got to work with him." And that's just the bottom line. And so just make sure that you navigate that and manage your resources and adapt to the cultural shift. Okay, so finding a mentor, being a mentor. A lot of you in the chat have provided wonderful resources saying that you have these skills and you're doing this and doing that. Look around in that chat to your brother and your sister in around there and reach out to them. I love the fact that mostly everybody's putting their LinkedIn pages in the chat. That's great. Reach out to each other, be there for each other, mentor each other. It helps you out, and a person doesn't have to be more qualified than you to be a mentor. They can be your peer. It could be someone like I have individuals that I'm credential wise, I am more qualified for. But these individuals are connected with other individuals, and they navigate in a space that I am not a part of. So what do? I'm working with them. I'm getting that leadership and that mentorship from them so that when I find myself in that space one day, I will be able to have the necessary KSAs, the knowledge, skills, and abilities to navigate and be successful. All right. Seek those mentors who are one to two steps ahead in their career path to where you are. All right. If they're dealing the same, if they went through the challenges that you're facing, they can show you a roadmap, provide you some tools on how to navigate those challenges. You know, doesn't have to be formal. It could be going to a football game, baseball game, soccer game, whatever it is. You could be going to Starbucks, getting some coffee, meeting at the library, working out in the gym, whatever, hiking, swimming, biking, whatever that is. And then once you have that, don't forget where you came from. We have others that are behind us looking at us. We don't even realize they're looking at us and they're looking up to us. And some of them may or may not want to be aggressive enough or confident enough to come talk to you. All right. So when they do get that courage up to come speak to you, take them under your wing, work with them. Don't pressure them. Be a good mentor and learn from what you went through as a mentee. Some of the key platforms can work out. We're on one right now, VetSec, right? VetSec Discord. LinkedIn's veterans in cybersecurity networks. If you look, they have some of these locally in some of the cities that you're nearby. Check some of the local, not military treatment, military installations. Check some of those local installations. You'll be amazed how cybersecurity people get together and work together. And they tell you about certain things that are going down that other people are not privy to and will never be privy to. Because why? They're not a part of that community. We are. So let's take care of each other. All right. So it's 10:30. Does anybody have need a break right now? I doubt it because I just wanted to push through if that's okay. Okay, good. I like everybody's hard charges. All right, so the cultural shift, military versus civilian workplace expectations. Military, we're really structured. Civilian, they're flat structured, open dialogue is encouraged. Military, we tend to stay in our lane and we do exactly what we're supposed to, right? And we're like, okay, well, in the civilian, they like to pull you out of that, and sometimes I do that as well. I'm an extrovert because of my position. Once I get in my car, I switch to my introvert mode because I like to stay in my little box and take care of my things. So that for me is a skill that I had to acquire, being able to turn it on and turn it off. But you have to know yourself and then apply some of that knowledge, if you will, to your workplace because it will help you understand that the civilian world is always focused on innovation, collaboration, and learning. Those three things are essential. If you can always link to what you are doing to innovation, collaboration, and learning, you're going to be good. But even some people in the civilian world don't get that. But those three words are crucial. The civilian world feeds on, they thrive on those words. Okay. You have a different work style. We are known for pushing through. We're going to Charlie Mike, continue the mission. We're going like we're doing right now. Some people are not built the same as we are. They haven't gone through the crucible of boot camp and advanced camp or combat, so we don't know what it means to suck it up and drive on. So we have to take that into account. You know, they have different work styles. You know, I can't begin to tell you how some of the things that are brought to me, I often think about that they're really beneath me, but or not worth my time. But to other people, they are. So we have to take that into account because my military service has made me hard, has hardened me, and my experiences have made me very, very tough. But I have to remember that they have not gone through what I've gone through. So make sure you understand that grace, and apply that to the individuals in the civilian world that you're going to be working with. All right. Again, mentorship, professional networks, cultural shifts, and activities. All right. If all that stuff together, you'll be good to go. You'll be bossing over. Trust me on that. All right. So I see that some of you are doing this. So we probably can skip this because you basically been doing this all yourself. But I would say on your own time, if you haven't put your LinkedIn profile in here and you're willing to share, feel free to do so. You don't have to do it with everyone. You can pick a couple of people to reach out to and start to expand your network. Look at what they're doing, you know, your area of interest. Are they working in a SOC? Are they dealing with cloud or doing GRC? You know, and then link up with them, get you a little meeting, virtual meeting, or if you're all in the same area, meet up and go have a brew or go to a game or go get a burger or whatever, and just sit back and chat. We automatically have these networks, but start focusing those towards the cybersecurity community, because you will be amazed from my interactions and my connections here on LinkedIn. It has helped me. It has helped me grow. Through VetSec, I've met other individuals that have helped push me towards other training that I didn't even know out there. I even got to the point where individuals who have nothing to do with military and cybersecurity, they'll copy paste the link and send it to me. Was thinking of you. Check this out. And some free training that definitely helps me level up. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, good looking out. So even those civilians who have not been in the military or are not affiliated with the military, they highly respect you and love what you've done for our nation or nations. So they will reach out to you and help you. Why? Because they are good people and they care about you. They want you to level up just as much as they want themselves to level up. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So questions. I don't know if you guys are able to, probably won't be able to come off mute, anything like that. But at this time, I want to do some questions, and I'm gonna go to the last slide. I'm gonna put my stuff right there so you can write that down. That's my LinkedIn stuff. And if you can put your questions in the chat, I will definitely start addressing questions, and we can go from there. Looking for an entry level IT. Anyone knows who? Where are you talking about? Yeah, Joshua, do you have a particular area or space or a locale? Okay. All right, Jason, you said, what's my biggest driver for doing what I do? Why am I here? Well, I didn't come from money. My dad was an E8 in the Air Force, and and despite what people think, military people don't make a boatload of money. And I had a passion for education and cybersecurity and computers, and so I'm on the downhill descent of my career, but I want to leave the place better than what I found it. And one of the areas I found out is in higher education, military people are severely underrepresented. We do not have a lot of people on campuses that understand what it's like to be in the military, to experience combat. And so I'm that advocate. So whenever I've made it very clear, all the institutions that I've worked for, if you encounter a veteran, all right, and you don't know how to talk to them, send them to me. I will help you out. I want to make sure I am that conduit to make sure that my brothers and sisters in the service have what they need to be successful in higher education. Because when I went back to school, I looked around for other people. There wasn't that many people like me, or they didn't identify themselves. I wanted to be, so that's why I'm here. That's my biggest driver, right there, Jason. Okay. One question I have, since cyber security so broad, broad field, which part of the industry would you say has the most jobs? Cyber definitely does. AI is the one that's the big push right now. So if you can get some free training on AI, if you haven't done that, you should do so. I'm gonna put something like IBM. If you haven't done that, you should go to IBM Skills Build. Check that out. There's free training on there, and you can also get a couple of certifications. But check that out. The I would say also one area that's getting more recognition now, and that a lot of people are not really skilled in, is AI governance. Once you understand the code aspect of AI, and you understand how algorithms and prompt management is provided, and how it advances the algorithm that the AI engine utilizes, making sure that those ethical concerns are applied and maintained, and governance of those AI systems is essential. So there's a lot of opportunities in governance, because everybody immediately says cyber, 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 ethical hacking, red hat, black hat, white hat, white team, blue team, all that type of stuff. They're looking at that, but look at some of the areas that there are not a lot of people in. Auditors. I'm looking to become an auditor, a risk management analyst. So those, in my opinion, those are the ones where you have a niche you can carve yourself out. But the most jobs are in AI and cybersecurity field. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate that. The same Bo Johnson was okay. All right. Cyber C. That's a good one. Yes, Ron, it is. So being in the Air Guard as a sysadmin, realized there was no ability to grow new skills and environment. So the cyber exit and started getting connection at 2 years, led me to being the cyber incident response team. Roger, good move, good move. Now it's time to do on drills. Long story short, there may be opportunities to branch out and skill. Yep, if you're still in. I agree. That one program that I found out what it's a transition program that helps you transition from the military and going to IT. I forget the name; it evades me right now. I wish I had gotten to that, because that is something they do to trade, and they place you right in to an area, and that's another way that you can maintain your security clearance should you want to do that. Me, I prefer not to work in classified areas. I've been in that world for a while, and so I I don't particularly want a whole bunch of people trying to do a background investigation into me and stuff like that. Masters in AI. Okay, good. Like that networking. AI data governance. Prepping the entry level IT tech field for potential growth to cybersecurity role. Any tips to prepare? Well, if you are an IT tech, know what you are interviewing for. All right. And I would, if you have the job description that you are applying for, this is where AI can help you out. Find whatever search engine it is, drop that job description in there, and then tell them to provide you a series of questions. You have some that are easy, medium easy, or very difficult pertaining to that job description, so you can prepare for it. Make sure that you have experiences talking about being a field technician, what you did in certain scenarios. Relive those situations where you did things. that is going to separate you from the rest of the pack. Most people don't apply their experiences and situations as to what they did, and how it improved the overall situation. If you can do that, you separate yourself. Also, make sure that when you're interviewing, you talk to them about how you're not satisfied with just what you're doing, how you're continuing to grow and your knowledge, and particularly research the company and find out where they're going, and start plussing up and leveling up and learning what that company does. You're interviewing them as well. So they may not be the company that may be the one for you. So keep that in mind. I understand everybody's got to take a job. If you got to take a job because you need it, okay, roger that. I got it. Do what you have to do. But know that the companies are interviewing you as well. And as you level up and you get these skills and additional certifications, what you're going to find out is that you're going to be such a valuable commodity. People are going to start trying to poach you from one company to another one. They do it in higher education. They do it in IT. And you'll see it in the news. I think one was recent. There was one high level executive that was a VP at Google, and I believe it was Apple went over there and poached him, and that individual took a new job as the COO at Apple. And one of the individuals that was at Apple left there and then went to Microsoft. So everybody basically knows everybody, and they want to pull people around there. The more skills that you have, the more marketable you are, the more valuable you are. So just know and research your companies. Look them up. Look up some Reddit, some of the reviews on it. It'll tell you about the culture of that organization, and then it'll let you know if it's an organization you really want to be a part of. Because the first 2 to 3 months, it's a facade. It's not going to be everything that you want, that you think. It's going to be one way. Once you get to that 6-year period, you really find out how the organization is. But any intel you can get on that organization beforehand, that lets you know exactly what you're going to walk into. And the last thing I'll say is this: for the job that you're interviewing for, ask the person who's your supervisor, how did the position that you're interviewing for become vacant? The way they answer or the way other individuals answer tells you a little something about the culture and about that job. It'll let you know exactly what you need for that position. Yeah, SkillBridge. Thank you, Scott. Yes, Scott, that was at SkillBridge. I wish I had that. Man. All right. I'm looking for questions. Oh yeah. I echo that, Scott. Is one thing that, and this is just me, but I've seen other individuals do this. If you just want to stay in one job and stay in one place and then retire and ride it out, okay, do that. But if you're looking to be upwardly mobile, you need to challenge yourself and take other positions to advance yourself, to give yourself that depth and that breadth of knowledge and experience. If you stay in one area for a long, long time, it essentially tells recruiters, okay, you can do a good job, but you can only do this one thing. We have to be agile. We have to be very agile. So if you can do a multitude of things, it puts you in a better position, as well as having increased levels of experience. Oh, and one thing that you will encounter, if you haven't already, you will encounter individuals that are in the cybersecurity workspace, or some of those executives that used to be high-ranking military officers, and they still think that rank applies to you now that you're a civilian. Do yourself a favor, tell them very nice in a respectful manner that it is not applicable. That rank that they had in that military holds nothing on what you're doing right now. I've had numerous individuals, colonels and one-star generals. I retired as a captain, all right? And they try they tried to tell me, oh, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm better qualified than them. And I had to tell them politely, respectfully, sir, you need to stay in your lane. We're not in the military right now. This is my domain. I know you're in cybersecurity, so am I. I am better qualified to you. So I would appreciate it if you respect my acumen as I respect your acumen. So you may, if you haven't already ran into that, you may. Just make sure you're prepared to deal with that, because some individuals think that rank translates to the civilian world. It does not. I know some individuals, like I said, I retired as a captain. I know some people that got out as a PFC or specialist, and them jokers are superstars in the IT world. I do not think about trying to be condescending to them whatsoever. I respect them for their individual perspective and treat them as a teammate as I would do everybody else. It goes a long way. So just make sure, and you may be one of those individuals that high rank. Just make sure you check that rank at the door. If you want to talk about good old times and memories and whatnot in the military, that's great. Go ahead and do that. But make sure that you understand that everybody ultimately will know everybody, and that the rank that they had in the military does not apply in the civilian world. Okay, so just keep that in there. Everybody knows somebody. That's right. Relationships is important. You waiting to get cleared? Okay, Polly. You can use clearjobs.net. There you go. That's a good one. Appreciate that, John. Yep. Yeah. So any other questions for everybody? I may be able to give you some time back, John. I guess I went a little too fast and it's
No, it's totally fine, Mark. I'm not seeing any other questions right now, so
yeah.
really appreciate you coming here today and kicking off the conference
Yeah.
and sharing some insights with everybody. We couldn't do the conference without people taking their time to submit the CFP and then taking time out of their day to be here. So I really appreciate that, Mark. Thanks so much. Hopefully, maybe you'll stick around for some other talks if you get a chance. I'm sure you're busy though.
Yeah, I gotta look at my emails. I probably got about 40 of them right about now. Nia, if you're in the state of Florida, we can talk. And here's a little plug, just real quick. If any of you are in the state of Florida and you're thinking about becoming an adjunct professor, and you have 18 credit hours, either in information and security management, cybersecurity, or if you got a master's degree in one of those computer fields, and you're interested, inbox me. We can probably talk and get you set up so you can start teaching in that field. I wish I could help everybody outside of Florida, but I can't. I'm constrained by Florida law, so I apologize. Thank you, everybody. Godspeed, everybody, and hold the line.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank
Take
you.
care.